Hi everyone, Tony from Mac the Movies here, and today we're going to talk about Halloween 2, but not just any cut of Halloween 2, the television cut of Halloween 2.
The night he came home.
Now, if you're watching this, you're probably familiar with television cuts of movies, especially R-rated cuts of movies. They're all kind of standard and similar. An example would be the first Halloween. They cut down the gore, and they added in bonus scenes to pad out the time to make up for it. And there's little things like dialogue changing here and there because of cursing and whatnot. But for the most part, you can kind of get an idea of what the actual film was from the television cut, or so I thought. The Scream Factory release of Halloween 2 that came out last year actually has the TV cut of Halloween 2. And out of curiosity, I watched it the other day. And I was baffled and horrified and just bewildered by what I was seeing. I've never seen a television cut like this before. This is some insanity. Now, I'm not going to go through every single change in the film. I'm sure other YouTube videos have done that. Again, it has some of the standard stuff. Trimming down scenes, trimming down the violence, adding additional scenes to pad out the runtime, replacing cursing, stuff like that. I'm going to talk about some of the really big changes I saw throughout the film and let you know how I felt about them. So let's just get right into it. The credits are moved to the front of the film before the recap. This was probably done to avoid confusion with the audience. If it started with the recap, people tuning in might have thought the first movie was playing and skipped it. I actually love the line delivery of Loomis saying,
"I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight."
You don't know what death is.
Followed by the music kicking in. In the TV cut, they changed the neighbor's dialogue, and now Loomis says nothing.
Was that a Halloween joke?
The music still kicks in, but it stops abruptly like a few seconds later. It just doesn't have the same impact. Like the theatrical cut really makes you feel like, hey, this is a big deal. This is Halloween 2. Shit's about to get real. And this one is kind of like, all right, well, movie's playing. I just can't get into it. When they pick up Laurie in the house, they cut to a shot of her already in the ambulance and then proceed to show her being put into the ambulance. How the scene played out originally, and even in this version, is she comes out of the house and we see her face on the walkway before they load her in. But for some reason, they thought we needed an additional close-up of her right in the beginning of the scene. I don't know why. So the theatrical cut opens up after the credits with this nice long stalking POV scene. It reminds you of the beginning of the original Halloween. I think it's a pretty effective way to let you know that Michael's still out there and he's still on the hunt. This film takes that scene and moves it way later in the film. Now, the opening stalking scene plays right after Ben Tramer gets hit by the car and lit on fire. They actually show more of that than I was expecting them to show in the TV version. That one actually took me by surprise. But yeah, I can't justify putting this scene so late in the film. It's stupid. The Mrs. Elrod scene is so confusing. In the theatrical cut, he sneaks in and takes the knife and leaves. She sees the blood he left over and screams. In the television cut, they make a point to show he's in the house, but don't show him picking up the knife. Then they leave the POV shot of him leaving, only to contradict it and re-edit the scene to make it seem like Mrs. Elrod sees him. But it's not even an actual close-up of Michael Myers. It is a still frame that's flipped, and it's from way later in the movie during the hot tub scene. To make things even more frustrating, they show Mrs. Elrod's neighbor reacting to the scream, but we never see her get killed. Why leave in the setup? You could have just cut after he leaves the kitchen onto another scene. I understand the need to cut cursing out of a TV cut, but when you have a scene built around a character getting annoyed at another character for cursing too much, it doesn't work when there are no curses.
Julie's full of sugar.
Every other word you say is either hell or damn.
I guess I just foul up all the time.
The security guard scene in the theatrical cut is a classic example of a slasher movie death. There's no music, which oddly makes things more tense. It's drawn out for a while with no sign of the killer, which puts you on edge. There's a fake scare, which catches you off guard, followed by the actual reveal of the killer and the death. The TV version ruins all of that. They add music to the scene to let people tuning in know that it's a scary movie. Then, for reasons I can't explain, they take random unrelated shots from the end of the movie when Michael's stalking Laurie and insert them into this scene. There's no suspense or anything. Now, instead of being on edge, you're just waiting for him to get hit with the hammer, which you're not even going to see because this is the TV cut. This is kind of funny. They actually make a point to show you that the phones aren't working in the hospital. And then like a few scenes later, they cut to a nurse just being real chatty on the phone with someone. This is tied to a deleted scene where Laurie starts freaking out some more and they drug her, which kind of explains why she's so out of it later in the movie. And they probably should have left it in the theatrical cut, but here it is here. Laurie's dream is totally different. They cut out her stepmom saying she's not her mother, but they add in this weird voiceover from young Laurie begging Michael not to hurt her, and it has her saying that she is his sister.
Please don't be angry with me. I'm your sister.
Toward the end of this movie, people just disappear. The nurse who gets killed after finding the dead Dr. Mixter, that scene is completely cut. The scene of the head nurse being found by Jimmy is also mostly deleted. They recut the film to make it look like Jimmy is looking for all the missing characters all during the third act. They made it look like the explosion at the end is responsible for his slip and fall. Whereas in the theatrical cut, he finds Mrs. Alves bled out and gets injured, then passes out in a car. I guess they didn't want to play the scene how it was because it has the girl, just covered in blood and the blood all over the floor. But how it's cut now with him looking around, it's kind of funny because that means he's not hearing any of the gunshots that are going on in the hospital. Even though the hospital's like dead quiet, he should be able to hear them. He just kind of seems like an idiot. And then the explosion knocking him over makes him seem clumsy. And of course, at the end, they have Jimmy in the ambulance. It's the fake out where he sits up with the sheet. She thinks it's Michael and it turns out just to be him. Cut out of the main movie, and I understand why it was cut out of the main movie, but it was thrown in here because they did add a bunch of scenes of them together. So I guess it works a little bit better. But yes, this was a very confusing time. The cutting to still images, the changing the music, the weird dialogue changes. It was very, very bizarre. And I don't think I've ever seen a TV cut this weird before. If you have, let me know. Let me know of any other weird TV cuts out there. And again, it's got to be something drastic like this. Like they completely repositioned, they redid the entire movie in editing. They moved scenes all around. Scenes from the beginning are in the middle. The scenes from the end are now sprinkled throughout. It's weird. If you know another TV cut that's like that, please let me know. I would really, really like to see that. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And check out our show we do every Monday. It's either a Talking About Tapes where we talk about old movies or a Hack the Movie show where we talk about newer stuff. Halloween is coming up in the coming months, and I actually am going to do a Halloween 2 episode. We're going to do Best Halloween 2. There's 3 movies that are considered a Halloween 2. So I'm starting to do research for that, which is why I checked out the TV version of this movie, and I was like, this is so weird, I have to do a video on it. So please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.